Hello. In this video, I'm going to talk about an update to the Statistorium. Over the last week or so, I have been working to improve the Statistorium's information. So let's get right into it because there is a lot to unpack. First, as you can see, I have rebuilt it quite a bit. What used to be dollar signs is now the return on investment. And added is a volume weighted volatility analysis. So let's go find a coin, something strange. Let's pick glitch. And here we have the volume weighted volatility analysis chart. There is a lot here, and just about everything on this chart is clickable. Let's zoom in. And let's simplify the chart a little bit. Yes, we even have candlesticks. As you can see, it's pretty easy to manipulate. All this is just clicking and dragging, holding the button down. And you can click on the individual bars to get price information for this period. Now, in order to get this chart, the coin must be at least 90 days old in order to produce enough information for this chart. You can view one-day volatility and one-day volume weighted average price, 3-day, 7-day, and 31 days. Red line, volume weighted average price in relation to the candles. The green line is the volatility for the 31-day period at that candle. If you go to all, you can pick and choose what you want just by clicking on the items in the legend. So here we have the one-day volume weighted average price and the 31-day volume weighted average price. Let's zoom this out. And now you can see the differences, or let's give it a little bit smoother reaction and go to the 7-day. And if you want to just see the crossover points, click on the OHLC chart to disable it, and now you can actually see the crossover points of the volume weighted averages. So this chart is packed full of information, and it's just a matter of how you wish to use it. And of course you can reset the whole chart, and you see that the 31-day volatility reached 40% on December 31st of 2021. It reached a high point. So you can mouse over all of this information, click on various points, zoom and scale it in. or just pick specifics to look at the information that you truly are interested in. For example, let's look here. When Glitch actually reached a high of $3. Now there's chances that this information will be expanded even further in the future, but for now it simply is a good starting point with a wealth of knowledge. Now as you can see, coins that aren't registered in a ledger, they don't get the volume weighted volatility analysis. For example, just because I hold it in my account doesn't mean it's going to have any analysis to it. Coins that are not a minimum of 90 days old aren't going to get a chart either. But as soon as it turns 90 days old, then the system will in fact provide information it needs. Okay, let's see if I can find one that is not that old. Nope. Most things are almost a year old. Now, while I am trying to find a coin that is within the constraints of being under 1 year old, I do need to make mention that this process is heavy. It does require a bit of calculation to generate all these charts. So it's something you want to be aware of when you modify your cron tab if you need to. If you have this running only once a day, you don't need to make any changes at all. If you have it running less than once an hour, then you will need to be aware that this process for my system takes 10 minutes. Okay, here is a coin that is under 1 year old. And you can see back from the beginning of the history exactly how old this coin is. So if it's at least 90 days old, you will get a chart. Less than that, and it will not show up. For example, here is a coin that's less than 90 days old. Here is a coin that's less than 90 days old. And I spent an excessive amount of time trading this coin, as you can see. So as soon as it turns 90 days old, I will get one of these wonderful charts that tells me exactly its volume weighted volatility and its analysis. Here's another coin that's less than 1 year old. And here's an interesting spot. %, volatility on the 31 day. Let's see. Let's do some filtering here. Okay, no, so it's got to be the 7 day. Nope, 35. $60, 80%, 1 day. So here we go, and you see everything nicely laid out. So take a look at it, work it over, let me know what suggestions need to be added to it, because I'm sure it can be improved. And now let's move to the VPS, and I will demonstrate some of the changes that can be done in your cron tab. Okay, I'm in the VPS now and I have my cron tab loaded. As you can see, I have reduced everything to a single script. That script is in the relay update, and this handles everything at one time. So you only need one single line. It also does it in succession of each other, so you don't have to worry about the timings between each module taking place. This is probably the easiest way to go about it, and I have mine set to go off once every hour. Now, you can choose once an hour, once every 4 hours, so forth, up to once a day, depending upon what you feel is appropriate for your personal situation. My trading is aggressive, so I want the more frequent times. But you need to be aware not to go below once an hour. This process by itself takes 10 minutes. So that is important to keep that in mind as you think about how and when you want this information to be charted. Okay, now we're going to go back to the charts. Okay, now we are back at the Statistorium, and I want to go through some of the changes I've made in my own trading and show the relevancy of how this new data has helped me make those changes. Let's start with Ethereum. Here are my current holdings, and you can see exactly how much I'm holding and how much I'm trading. Let's zoom in. Nothing special here. Pretty straightforward. Now let's look at my current return on investment. It is important to remember that these are completed transactions. You can see up here I actually went into a hard profit before I started the most recent accumulation cycle. And you can see right now I am a little less than $20 invested. Of course, you can zoom in and really see how the chart looks. And now let's get to the big piece of information. Just what is the outlook of Ether? Okay, let's start by looking at the 31-day volume weighted average price and volatility charts. Now you can see back here we had a high close to 5,000. And then it started trending downwards. Personally, I say this is just a standardized correction, as when you look at the chart, it's pretty much back to its midline level. Nothing overly spectacular. Let's look at some of the data at the high point. As you can see, the price went above the 31-day, and it still trended till about here, when the price went more of a sideways motion. Now, realistically, this would be a good opportunity to trigger a sell point. If you're looking at just the volume weighted average price, this would be a good purchase point, and this would be a good sell point. But overall, I think it's realistic to really look at the 7-day and the 31-day crossovers. I think these make excellent points in terms of the true value of the market, and by examining this process, you begin to see just how much the market value is worth. Here would be a good purchase points along the way for accumulation that would present some interesting selling points up here. So using the volume weighted average price and using the volatility as part of your planning process can help you avoid a lot of this unwanted traffic. Now each day that this updates, you'll see one more day and one less day on this side. This is a rolling year, so you're guaranteed that once the asset is at least 1 year old, you will see the last year's worth of data. So take a look at it, go through it, tell me what you think, and give me your opinion on how it can be approved. Leave comments either below in the YouTube comments section or in the support server. And of course, let me know if you have any problems or if any bugs crop up with running it. This is a complicated process, and it can definitely be problematic. As I said, every single aspect of this chart is clickable. So I've tried to really make it present meaningful and useful information. Until next time.